Well, thousands of you submitted questions last night for the CNN YouTube debate. We were able to get in 39 different ones during the 2-hour show last night, which is more than we thought that we were going to be able to. Joining me now are two people whose questions were among those who were chosen. Davis Fleetwood from Groton, Massachusetts, whose real name is actually Dennis Traynor. You post under the name Davis Fleetwood. And Melissa Companucci, who's from San Luis Obispo, California. Thanks so much for joining us. What did you think, Melissa, of the debate last night?
I think it went really, really well. The fact that it's kind of a landmark event and we didn't have any sort of catastrophic breakdowns or anything like that.
Things went pretty smoothly, technically.
They really did. Better than events that have been replicated over time, like the Academy Awards. Something always goes wrong there. There was absolutely nothing that I can complain about.
I'll tell you, I was a little bit skeptical going in, but then when I saw the way that it was presented last night, how all of the questions seemed to just dovetail right in with the plan for the evening, it really impressed me. What were your thoughts about it, David?
I think that the citizen actually was the star of the show last night, more so than the candidates, and I think that's great news for politics. I think it's going to engage more people, young and old. Internet and non-internet in not just politics, but activism and more engagement in the process.
Well, as we said, you were one of the citizens that was engaged. Your question was narrowly focused to Dennis Kucinich. Let's take a quick listen. Well, I'll paraphrase what you said. You asked him how America would be better off with him as president rather than Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Let's take a quick listen to part of what he said in response.
Well, first of all, a clear record as having not only opposed the war from the very beginning, the only one on the stage who actually voted against the war, and also the only one on the stage who voted against funding the war 100% of the time.
So, Davis, why did you ask that specific question of him, and did you get the response that you were looking for?
The reason I asked that specific question of him is because last night's debate and previous debates have been a little bit rigged in that the main players get more time center stage. Hillary and Obama are center, literally, as the leading players, and the other characters are kind of pushed to the fringe. So I wanted to draw some attention to Kucinich, who I think has been right all along on the war. And I think that's the most important.
And did you get the answer you were looking for?
I got the answer that I already knew, and I hope that people who didn't know Kucinich got the answer that they need.
And Melissa, you asked a question about standardized voting. Let's take a quick listen to that, and then to part of a response to that question.
My question is for everyone. In recent years, there's been so much controversy regarding dangling chads and no paper trail with electronic voting systems. I know it costs money to amend things like that, but if I can go to any state and get the same triple grande, non-fat, no-foam vanilla latte from Starbucks, why can't I go to any state and vote the same way?
So Bill Richards was the one who responded to that question. Were you happy with the response that he gave? And he was the only one who responded. Would you have liked to have heard from more candidates?
I was very pleased with what he had to say, and he actually mentioned a couple of technical things I hadn't thought of as far as optical scanners for counting votes and things like that. I do wish that more people had answered the question because I think it's an issue that if you can't have legitimacy in your voting system, how can you take your leader seriously?
Right. Well, I think, in fairness, it was sort of getting later on into the night. They were trying to get as many questions as possible, so perhaps that's why they only had Bill Richardson answer it. Melissa Companucci, Davis Fleetwood, thanks for being with us. Thanks for participating. It's great to see you folks getting involved in the process like that.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
And don't forget, you can do it again coming up September 17th with the Republican debate from Florida. You've got all summer to figure out your questions, put them up on YouTube. We'll be vetting those, and we'll bring you that debate on the 17th. Karen?